Hey y'all, yeah, just sitting at home today, playing with my tackle, which to some of you it comes as no surprise, but get your mind out of the gutter because it's not what you think. It's all this stuff. So anyway, keeping in mind that brought myself with a new action camera and I'm just getting used to using it, I thought here's an opportunity to give it a run. So what I thought I'd do today is well, first of all, I probably should introduce, because a lot of you guys, you may know Matt on the channel, on our little page, but you might not know me. I'm Al. I run the page with my brother-in-law, Matt. We've been fishing together since I was a junior, and we're not professionals by any stretch. In fact, I think if you called us amateurs, you'd probably say we're only rank ones. But anyway, we enjoy what we do, and we started a Facebook page to basically keep a journal for ourselves, and then we decided, oh, let's have a bit of fun with it, and yeah, we created what we now call Something Fishy, which is our team name when we go in fishing comps and so forth, and take a few of our mates along with us, and yeah, we just have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, this whole thing is nothing more than a journal, but if it grows and people watch and enjoy some of the stuff we put together, and I don't know, maybe pick up an amateur's tip or two, yeah, so be it. So anyway, so what we'll do is I'm going to run you through what I keep in my bag, if it's any interest. So anyway, starting off, I run a pretty big setup, as a lot of fishermen do. It feels like I take the entire world with me when I go. So it's a big tackle bag. In the tackle bag is 6 tackle boxes, loaded up with lures. Now first of all I want to show you, this is the I don't know what happened there, but anyway, this is the GoPro Hero 9 camera that I've brought and I'm using, and it seems to be pretty good. It's not the dearest one on the market, so it's not the best, but it's certainly going to do the trick for us. And I'll tell you what, we're not sponsored by anyone, but if I could get a sponsor, I want it to be this stuff. Brookvale Spice Rum Ginger Beer. It is sensational. Anyway, back to the cause. So, my tackle box. I've got some soft plastics. Now, I'm not a big soft plastic fisherman. So, what I've got's cheap and nasty, and I've only just started, and I've had zero success on soft plastics, and this is probably why. So I need to get a whole lot better there, really do some research and find out what the hell I'm doing. But anyway, my style of fishing is generally your hard bodies, spinning and trawling, and I've got my go-to box, which in this box is basically everything I use often. So we've got these Paragons, the latest Teddy Devil range. They're great little things. A couple of little Selters if they're working on the top of the water, and a spoon, and then the rest of them are all just hard-bodied lures. A couple of Zerks there, some Impalas, some Strike Pros, Pressos. I've got some large ones and I've got a heap of small ones, and there's a couple of Atomics in there also. And in there you'll find some Daiwas. I think there's a couple of Atomics in that one there too. So that's mainly the colours that I'll use when I go to the lakes I fish, which is generally Pedder, and also a little bit of Crescent, Clyde River, areas like that. Then we move on to my stump jumper box, which is a bit low at the moment, to be honest. I love using stumpies. They're a cheap little lure, and yeah, they're quite effective, especially in the deeper waters, what I've found, trawling them. However, trawling them with other lures next to them sometimes can be messy in a tangle, but yeah, they're a bloody good little lure, cheap ones. Now speaking of cheap, these things, Black Maxes. Now this is one of the bigger ones. I've just tried this one, just bought this one, but I've got a few of them here, and I tell you what, for $11 or $13 lure, they are a great little tackle box filler. Obviously I like Pressos, I've got a lot of Pressos, and the BK Customs are a beautiful lure too, but these Black Maxes Honestly, if you've got a junior just starting and you want to put a few in his things, they work great for a good cheap little lure. Going over here, a tackle box I never use. I don't know why I keep half of these. Flatfish there, I get a couple of uses out of them, but most of these just sit there and look pretty. Never ever get some use. Saying that, that's one of Matthew's homemade lures. That one's had plenty of use, and it catches plenty of fish too. Now, that's the only homemade lure I've got at Matthew's, but I'll tell you what, he makes some ripper lures, and if we do a tackle bag, what's in his bag, yeah, you'll get to see some of them. Then I've got my Cobra bag, Tassie Devils, a few stings, a few lofties in there, all of different colours. There's more silters, they're just cheap brains. Couple of fish cakes. Fish cakes are always good because I fish Lake Pedder. An old Wonder Wobbler. Yeah, there's some stings. And yeah, and then I've just got a bit of a bitter one. Got a few squid jigs. I generally take 4 rods away with me. Now, I've got this girl, this little baby here. Bit of a story behind this. So, when I first started fishing, my brother-in-law, who I now still fish with, I think I must have been 13, I don't know, maybe even younger, went and brought this for me for Christmas. It's a Rex Hunt Junior fishing combo. It's got the old 2000 reel on it. All in it's still original state. I think they were brought from Kmart back in the day. But I still keep it. I don't know, somewhat sentimental, I suppose. But at the end of the day, this thing's caught more fish than anything I've got, and I still use it. I only really troll with it. I don't spin with it much anymore because there's far better rods out there. But yeah, I still keep it. I still use it. And then I've got my dial here. This one I won in one of the fishing comps up at Lake Pedder, and yeah, it's not a bad little combo. It's nothing special, but it's great to use as a bit of a trawling rod. Casts quite well, lacks a bit of feel, but yeah, not a bad little combo. It does the job, especially when you're trawling. Then I go into my 2 main rods. Now, this is my favourite baby. It's a little 6-footer. It's yeah, got a dial reel on it. Yeah, and it's, what is it? I don't know, I can't even pronounce that. What's that? Asari. And yeah, got a hell of a lot of feel about this. It's when I first started using some soft plastics and some real light hard bodies, you could feel everything in the water. Every time it bumps the bottom, you can feel everything. You know the difference between a snag, a bit of a weed, and a bite. It's lovely. I run really light gear on that too. It's got braid. That's not J braid, which is unusual for me because most of my rods are J braid. But that's got about 6 pound braid on it, quite light, because mainly in Lake Pedder. So I started fishing Lake Crescent, and that's when I went and got myself a new rod, mainly because I broke one not long ago. But got this one, the Scimitar. Now, the Scimitar Shimano 1000 reel is absolutely beautiful. Fantastic reel. The rod itself lacks a bit of feel. It's a 7-footer, nice rod, but I think I just got used to the my little white baby there, which has a hell of a lot of feel about it. And that's only a 6-foot rod, so I guess that's probably why it's got the feel, and this one seems a bit lacking, but it's a nice rod. It's just not my favourite. The reel, however, I cannot fault that. That is a beautiful reel. Actually, I'm thinking of taking that reel off and putting it on my favourite rod, but yeah, I just don't want to break up a combo. So anyway, that's what's in my bag. The only other thing that I take, and when I play with my tackle at home, I wouldn't be complete without it, obviously, is 18-inch donger. These are great things. Get them from BCF. It's quick whack. You fish it out like a light. That's if you're not catching and releasing, obviously. Now, if we do one of these with Matt, you'll see something very different. Like I said, he does a lot of homemade lures. Matt's rods and so forth is really where he goes different than I. I tend to buy things, and I've got the mindset of technology exists for a reason. Matt loves the classics. So I'll have a rod worth $200 in my hand, sometimes dearer, and Matt will have a rod worth $20. And he loves the whole Black Queens and things like that. It's a bit of a history lesson going through his box. And yeah, at the end of the day, he outfishes me most times. So who am I to bloody well argue? Anyway, hope this video's hasn't been too clunky for you. I am only learning to put things together, and it's probably going to be crap. But anyway, it's a start, and they'll only get better, I hope. See ya.